Alrighty guys, Mr. Agnello here. I'm on the Exmark again. Just making sure my GoPro's working. I got my chest mount on, so that way you guys can see what I am doing on this mower. So, just like the Tiger and the Kubota, we have 4 things that we need to check before we start this machine. Now let's assume we already checked the oil, we already filled up our fuel tank, we're full. So we have 4 things that we want to check before we start the engine. Number 1 is the parking brake. We want to make sure the parking brake is on. So we're gonna pull this all the way back, parking brake is on. Second thing is we want to make sure our blades are off. So over here on the left, our lever's towards us, so the blades are off. Next thing is neutral. So if you can see that there, our speed selection is in neutral, and then our throttle on a gas engine is going to go up to halfway. All right, parking brake is on, blades are off, we're in neutral, throttle's halfway. We're ready to start. Now, this is a cold start, okay? A cold start. So we got to pull the choke out. Now on a cold start, I'm going to stand to the side here. I do not need to hold these levers down in order to start it. For a cold start, I want to be right near the choke here. So I'm going to turn the key, click it on. I do not need to wait for anything. This is a carburetor. There's no fuel pump to wait for. So click the key once to on, and then you can click right over to start. So I'm going to start this machine up right now. Again, it's a cold start. Choke is on. I checked my 4 things. You hear how the engine's running crappy? When the engine's running crappy, choke off. Okay? Right now we're idling. The engine's running pretty smooth. So that was a cold start. For a warm start, it's the same thing except no choke. You're just going to stand up here and start the machine for a warm start. So I'm going to talk about moving this mower, okay? Because it is a little complicated and it's a little bit different than what you might be used to. So I'm going to demonstrate it and talk about it right now. So the first thing you want to do is make sure your parking brake is off. So I'm going to do that right now. You can see the black bars away from the tire. So the parking brake is off right now. So this bar right here, I'm gonna keep my hands over it. This is how you should be when you're operating this mower. My fingers are always around the control levers, okay? My fingers are never behind it, okay? I'm always in front of it. And that's gonna allow me to maneuver this mower. So, parking brake is off, I'm in neutral. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it some throttle, but I'm not gonna do it right now so you can hear me. Again, it's hard on the hydraulics to have the engine idling and try to maneuver. You're just not going to have the response. So you want to give it some throttle, okay, before you start to maneuver. Shut that down. So once you pick up your throttle, what you want to do is a speed, okay? So let's just put it at 2. So you select your speed. Once you select your speed, you're ready to take your locks off. So you're going to squeeze the control levers just a little bit. The mower should not be moving anywhere. I'm in neutral, okay? So I'm going to take these locks off. So you're just going to use your thumb. Off, on, off. All right, I want my locks off. Now, as soon as I let these levers go forward, I'm going to start going forward, okay? So you really got to be ready for this, because once you let those levers out, the mower is going whether you're ready or not, okay? So that's just something you got to be aware of, and I'm just trying to maneuver here so that way I can show you guys how to maneuver. So let me do that again. Okay, so I would adjust my throttle to be above idle. Next, I'm going to select a speed. Okay, so I selected my speed. Next, the locks come off. All right, locks are off. In order to go forward, I'm going to let these control levers go away from me. So right now I'm going forward. In order to stop, I'm going to squeeze the levers. Okay, so I'm going to squeeze them back to neutral. To back up, I'm going to squeeze the levers towards me. Okay, squeezing the levers towards me to back up. All right, so this is where, you know, the skill comes, is just finger dexterity and getting used to using this machine. Forward, I'm going to let my control levers go forward. To stop, I'm going to squeeze. To go reverse, I'm going to squeeze even more. Okay, so turning is just like on the Turf Tiger or the Kubota. So in order to turn to the right, I need to speed up my left wheel and or slow down my right wheel. Turn to the left, I got to speed up my right wheel or slow down my left wheel. And that is just by how far you let each lever go out. Okay, so I want to turn to the right here. I'm going to squeeze my right lever a little bit. Okay, and I can make a really tight turn or a more gradual turn. So that's just like the ride-ons, exactly like the ride-ons. All right. Now, as you can see, I got the sulky back here, and that's just like a little trailer. So if you can back up a trailer, you can back up a sulky. All right, but until you learn that, you know, the sulky is going to be a little bit of a challenge for you. All right, so I'm done maneuvering. How do I put this thing away? So I'm going to stop, squeeze my levers until I'm stopped, then put the locks on. Okay, once the locks are on, I'm going to put this in neutral. Okay, when you're in neutral, then you can let go of this bar right here. Otherwise, you gotta have the bar down. So let me just demonstrate here real quick what happens. I'm not touching the bar. I put it I select a speed and it stalls out. Okay, so in order to start up again, I gotta go through my 4 things. Okay, so my parking brake is on. I'm in neutral. My throttle's a little bit, you know, to halfway there. My blades are off. Okay, now I can start this machine. It's a warm start this time, so there's no choke. And now I'm ready to go again. All right, so I'll show you that one more time. So parking brake off. All right, select a speed, release my locks, and let my handles go. In order to stop, I'm going to squeeze. To reverse, I'm going to squeeze even more. When I want to stop, I'm going to put it in neutral, put my locks on, put my selection into neutral. I'm going to idle the machine down. Okay, you always let a machine idle before you shut it off. I'm in neutral, so I can let go. Parking brake on, and then shut this off. So that's the Exmark. Turning it on, maneuvering, and shutting it down. Next video is going to be deck height adjustment and using the blades. So that'll be next. Try to get those into one video.